Alright, I thought I'd do a video again on the importance of culling young fish to keep your guppy lines doing well and improving them. So I know I think I did one about this a while back, but I thought I'd do one on the snow white albinos. This is a breeder tank. I'm slowly replacing the older male breeders with these younger males that I've selected. Should be that one there. And there's one in the back. The older males really can't catch up to the females anymore, so I also put in some couple of younger females as well. So I'll slowly phase out the adult males. I actually had hung on to them in case there was going to be a show in IFGA show in March, but that was canceled. I think the April one was canceled. And the May one was canceled. They're all getting canceled because it's not safe yet. So this one's got a couple little issues, but they developed late in his life, and he would still qualify as a AOC albino. And he's got nice fins, nice dorsal, nice tail, and good body shape. So the younger ones are all pretty much uniform, which is what you want to strive for if you're trying to keep a line going. The albinos are a little bit different because you're really going to run into some females that really don't produce any fry. Maybe some females that will just have fry for you once, or maybe females that'll have fry and the rest of the fish in the tank will eat them because they like to do that. They're albinos, and I guess my ideas are that the fry are essentially blind when they're born, and they more or less just swim right in front of the adult's mouth, and that's the end of them because they look like food. So anyway, these fish all look pretty much the same, which is what you want to strive for. The plants in there are a thin leaf water sprite. I have a lot of plants in there, more than I should, and that is because I'm trying to save the babies as they have them. So sometimes I'll pull the female if she looks close to dropping fry and put her in a small container with a lot of cover for the babies so that they can survive, basically. So I've already digressed like 6 times, and we're only 2 minutes into it. So I'll show some of the other ones that I'm going to talk about culling with. And the other thing I'll mention is, why do vampires believe everything they're ever told? Because they're suckers. They're suckers. See? Vampires, suckers? Yeah, it's not very good. Alright, so as far as these guys were culled. Now the albinos may not show up as well because I have the light directly over the tank. They look great in the tank with the plants in them I just showed because there was less light than what we're getting now. So these males were culled, and then next I'm going to show the ones that weren't culled and try to keep going with that. So these were all culled for pretty much reasons that are going to be obvious. We have tails that were probably nipped, but this one's got an edge hanging down, and that's not from a nip, that's genetic, or a genetic defect, so he came out. And I'll mention right away, I don't kill or dispose of the culls. You can either trade them with other people. It used to be you could swap them to for store credit in fish stores. Who knows what the situations things are now. Everybody's staying the heck in, so I don't know if fish stores are giving credit for anything. Maybe they'll give you a present for showing up because not enough people are going in. So yeah, there's some scratches on this photo tank, but this one was culled because I don't like the center of the tail seems to have a little bit of a stripe with no color. Maybe I can focus on it. And a little uneven edge, if you see what I mean right there. I don't like the center of that tail. So I culled that one. This one because of the split and a little extra piece. This one is really a veil tail. That's not a delta tail. It's not shaped right. Plus it has a crappy edge. This one looks great, but he was born the same day as these other ones and he's much smaller. So you definitely want to be removing the ones that grow slower. And because I'm assuming that's going to get passed on. So I think this one wasn't bad, but there was something else going on. I don't think I like the tail edge. And this one just had no color. It had some like a, well, he's in the way. Move it! This one had like a gray base at the caudal peduncle, and it looks to me like some yellow is starting at the base of the tail. So he was removed. So these guys were removed. They're going to go into a 10-gallon tank with a couple of females and live out their life. I don't destroy them. I don't feed them to anything. At some point, if I can ship fish again, I might sell like a grade B of some of these lines. You know, letting people know ahead of time it's not the best of the line. It's like a cull for, you know, like a reduced rate. But we'll see. But so that's what's going on with these guys that were removed. And see if these will show up. If I can move myself out of the way so my reflection's not in there. And this is working out better to get the albinos with less light. So what you want to do is you just want to keep the best of the fish from the drops of fry. And that'll keep your line from devolving or just falling apart over time. So the culls can be given away. You can trade them with friends. You can really sell them if you want. Pretty much whatever you want to do. Like I said, I put them in a tank of their own. They're kind of like emergency backups in case the other breeders fall apart at some time or have a crash or die or something. It'd be a lot easier if these guys would stay on the camera. So what you want to do when they're born is you want to immediately remove any deformed fry, bent spine, ones that just slide at the bottom, color variations such as the body might be lighter or darker than it's supposed to be. And as the fry age, you want to just remove any of those that have grown slower and not developed as quickly as the others. Same with a different coloration. So trying to get these guys on here. You'll see that all the females are pretty much uniform, as are the males. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video here and put some of the males and females into their own small container, just so you can see what I mean about them being uniform. Now these females were in the tank that I was just showing a couple seconds ago, and they're all identical, or at least I think they are. I'm trying to get the glare off them. You can see the amount of coloration in the tail, the dorsal are all the same. The body size is all the same. These fish were all born the same day, so that's what you want to see. You want uniformity, and that's what we're getting here. So these will get much bigger, much wider, and coloration really won't change much. This is what they end up looking like. And you can see even the amount of size of their stomach, I guess, are all pretty much the same. So what do I have in here? 2, 4, 7 females, and every one of them looks the same. And that's what you want to keep basically a higher end strain of guppies going. I mean, if you're breeding a type of guppy that has variations in the color or whatever, you're probably not going to be that strict, except to pull the ones that don't quite look like you want them to. But so that's kind of how it should look. And Where do Volkswagens go when they get old? Two old folks homes. Old folks homes. That's terrible. Where do Subarus go when they get old? Nowhere. They just keep rotting in place where they've been the entire time they were built. And there we go. There's a couple of crappy jokes. So what I'll do next is I'll put some of the males in that were in this tank here and show that they should be pretty much uniform as well. Alright, we'll see if we can get this to focus on the fish. These are males that I pulled out of that tank. As you can see, there's mostly just females in there now, except for a couple males I couldn't catch. So as we try to look at each one of these, they basically all look the same. The tail shape, the body shape, coloration, dorsal. There's really no differences. These fish, like I said, were all born the same day. And so what I'll do over the next couple of weeks, few weeks, is I basically monitor the tank every day as I feed the fish and as things go by, and pull out anywhere we may start to get like a yellow coloration creep in the tail, or maybe the dorsal doesn't keep growing and the current shape gets skinny or something. So you just monitor over the next 4-6 weeks. Pick your breeders for the next generation to use as your breeders. Boy, there's an easier way to say that with less words. And the rest for me, what I do is I have tanks where I raise the males and females in each batch separately. Like if I'm going to show them in IFGA shows, if there ever are shows again, and stuff like this, I do keep a couple tanks. Same with the Roebuck Reds and a few others that I sell. They're just going to be sale tanks. I may pull a couple of the best looking ones out to use as breeders, but I grow them out together because I don't want to sell virgin females to people, especially with albinos, because sometimes they never manage to put out fry. So I want to at least see some fry in the tank before I start selling fish out of it. And unfortunately, with the current post office problems, I'm not looking at fish anytime soon. It's just still too screwed up. It's just too far delayed. I may go to express mail only, but there aren't a lot of people that really want to pay $40-45 to ship fish. So because you get about 4 or 5 pounds of weight, and it ends up getting to a $40 fee without much of a problem. So the video is getting a little long, so I'll finish it up. But the point was just so you can see that the males are uniform and the females are uniform, and that's how you want to raise your fish. And if you're buying fish, that's what you want to see. Preferably not just a picture of a male on a website somewhere or on Facebook. I really like the fish from a lot of the Asian breeders that advertise, but they have a tendency to never show the females. I don't like that. I want to see what the females look like before I buy anything, because one, I want to make sure I'm getting the right females, and two, I need to know what to look for when the fish have fry, and I need to cull out anything that's different. How am I going to know what's different if I don't get to see what they're supposed to look like? Because a lot of times you'll get fish from somebody you don't know, and they may not breed true, or you really just may get too many surprises. So anyway, that'll do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comments, which is where comments would normally go. And I appreciate everybody watching. And if you have any other further questions, I'll put my email address in the video description. So thank you so much for watching, and hope everybody had a happy new year, which I said in the last video, and let's hope 2021 is a good one. So take care.